In this video, we are going to learn how we can create this effect. When we hover on something, it gives us a preview of the page like this, and you could add your own elements and you could customize it however you want. This is basically a container where you could add anything. It doesn't really have to be like this particular image or this particular content. You could add anything around here, but this is how it works. And let's say if I make the screen smaller, it still works. Some issue around here, but usually screens are not this small, so it's okay. And when it turns to a tablet, you could say it is not visible. So for tablet and mobile, I have disabled it because it kind of messed it up. It didn't work perfectly because you can see the text how it changes. It's not like at a particular state like this. And we can also make it be on the left center instead of center. You could see right now this container is being from the center, but if we want to make it from the left corner be aligned with the left side, we can do that pretty easily. And I'm also going to be providing this as a template, but it's going to be a paid template because I have done some styling and stuff, or this whole stuff. So you can see I have actually used the same design like in many different templates, like this pop-up template or this draggable template, both of which are free. You could see the live demo in here. It's the same design. You could download it if you want. So like stuff like this, and then this one. So this one I'm going to make paid for like this effect, and it's pretty easy to do. So let's quickly get started and make it. I'll add my code in my blog section. It would be a direct link in the description. Also there's like a lot more templates. So let's get started. First of all, I'll just create a temporary like container for this page, and I'm going to show you how we can make it for like text in middle of this text like this, or if you just want to have like a particular text, we can just add like a heading too. So let's first try with this one, and then I'll show you how to do with the particular text. Make sure some of this is selected because by default Elementor adds like this huge container. This pink color stuff is also kind of like a container. It's basically a div, and you could add anything around here. So like my preview box, no matter how big you want, you could type it, and right now it is at h2. The next thing we do is add a container. So I'm going to make this like particular size, but I'm not going to use like this width. I'm going to go in the pen icon and I'm going to type this. And again, this is very easy to understand. I'll quickly explain to you if you are not familiar with it. I'll duplicate 2 more times to show you what it means. So first one I'll make 55% in size, and the next one I'll make 400 pixels. So you could see that in this one I have typed minimum 55% or 400 pixels. Basically what it means is that whichever is the lowest would be used between these two. So right now this one is 55% and this one is 400 pixels, and you could see this like this one is smaller, so it's going to be this size. But when we make our screen smaller or bigger, or not bigger but basically smaller, we might have this container be smaller than 400 pixels because it's in 55%, right? And I would suggest like playing around with this value if you want by making the screen smaller or bigger, but usually I would suggest getting like 65, 75. I'll update this, just try with anything. Then I'm just going to delete the bottom 2 ones. So right now we have added a container which would be like whichever is the smallest size between these two. I'm just going to call this as preview box like this, and inside of this one I'm going to add another container which is preview, I guess, content. You can type anything that you want, just something that would make you remember what is what. The preview box, I'm going to temporarily give it a color so that we could see what's happening, like pink, or whatever that color is, pink, I guess, reddish pink. And then the second one I'll make blue, so we can see what's happening. I'm going to go in preview box and going to remove the padding so it's like full like this. So for time being, I'm going to make this preview box, let's say 250 in size, and below everything. It doesn't have to be in this container, you could add anything anywhere, but it should be below all our content, which is going to be our HTML widget where we can add our code. So I'm just going to add it below, and I'm going to copy this code and paste it in here. And you could see nothing actually happened because we still need to give our CSS classes. So wherever we want to use our link, I'm going to give it the CSS class DMpreview link like this. Then our container would be called as, let me check, I don't remember. Okay, so our main content would be our container like this, and anything inside of this one would be our box. So how about we name this as the same so that we know where we have used what. So preview box. And we actually use two container like this for this effect, basically for this effect, this reveal effect. Okay, so you could see as soon as I did add all this stuff, it did something, but it still needs to have some changes. But let's first see if it's working or not. And you could see that it actually made this container be in around here inside this one. And obviously we are seeing some issues right now, which is that it's not being the same size. So how we can fix it is basically in the code and in my DMpreview link box CSS, which is literally at the top, so which is like this one. You can see I have given it minimum height of 200 pixels, which is same as going here and giving 200 pixels. But if we have multiple of them, it would be quite annoying, right, to go in each and every one of them and then doing 200 to make it same size. So what I've simply done is I have added it in the code, and by default in the preview container I have used 250. So if this was 200, it would look perfect, but I'm going to keep 250 to show you that how we can just simply change the value and it would be same. So I did 250. Let's do preview. And one more important thing, that it might not look same right now in your page, and because sometimes this top bar messes this up. So what you will need to do is you will need to check this in your incognito so that this top bar is not showing. For me it is working, but sometimes it was not working, so I'll show you how to do that. It's very easy. So you can see the effect is already working perfectly like this. So let's just update, and for some reason if this is not aligned perfectly, don't worry about it. Simply just check in your incognito like this by clicking new incognito window, and then see if it works or not. If it's working perfectly, then it means the code, it would be working nicely. So even if it's not showing perfectly around here because of this top bar, as long as it works in here, it's perfect. Okay, because the top bar is not going to be visible for the visitors. So you can see this is what I've done, and everything inside of this container which I have added in the preview box. Obviously you will need to remove this code so that you could style it. Might as well give it 250 around here to check it out, and then you could style anything. You could add an image the way I've added it. Just add your image, and then you could add a button. You could add anything you want. It doesn't have to be just this. And then once everything is done, add the code back. Let's check it in the live page, and you could see it's perfect. It works nicely like this. So obviously we do not want this red color background to be showing. So what we simply need to do is go into preview container and just make it be not visible like this. Let's see what happens. And it is not being visible. Even if you add any content, it would still not be visible, so don't worry about it. Even if you add content around here, it would work perfectly. So you can see it just works nicely. How about we try it in different sizes? And you could see even if I change the size, it does stuff like this. Okay, Obviously in this one I have done more styling. It's same, I've just added some styling, added some border to the container and stuff, so it works nicely. But how about we add it in a big text like this? So to do that, we simply need to do is, and I'll also show how we can add like multiple, because there is some stuff that you need to do. So first thing first, I'm going to add a text editor like this below. Let's make it, I guess, small for just this video. You can style it however you want, you don't need to copy me. So I'm just going to make it bigger for time being so that we could see nicely. And inside the text one, maybe I'll copy this text because it looks like better, like this. So hello, my name is stuff like this. So let's say if I want to highlight my name, or maybe highlight my website like this, what we can simply do is, I'm going to do it in a notepad because it's like way too small around here. So this one is kinda looking like this, but that's okay. Okay, so there we go. So the thing we are going to do is, I want to have stuff around here, right? And this should also be clickable, because obviously we want people to visit this website. So we cannot just simply do it with Elementor's like default functions like this. We need to do like basic coding, which is like HTML. It's like doesn't take like too much time. So we type ahref like this and do /a, and it's basically a HTML function to add a link. So whenever you, let's say, add a link to like this, so if I do click around here, maybe do something and add a link to my website like this, you could say it added the same code, ahref stuff. So I'll explain to you how this works, even if you're not familiar with HTML. Anything you add in this quotation would be the link. So for me, I want it to be my site, so I'll just copy my link and add it, and anything between this stuff would be what the text which is shown. Okay, so I'll type DMmotionarts.com. so this text would be shown, and whenever someone clicks on it, it would lead them to this link. But we also need to provide a CSS class to it, because we want our content to be, or our automated box, this preview link, to be visible at our CSS class, just the way I added this CSS class around here. So let's just copy this one, and in here I'm just going to go and do space class equal to in _1 DM preview link, and I'm just going to replace this one around here like this. So how about we just paste it in here and see how it goes. Keep it in text. Usually you do not need to go visual and text because it would like be confusing, but I'll keep it like this, and let's see what happens in the preview page. So you could see I have added a link to this one, and you could see it is not working now. This box has stopped working. And why is that? So the reason why this is not working is simply because we have not created this preview container and preview box. So you have to make sure that for every DM link that you create, which is wherever you use DM preview link, there needs to be this two content there, okay? Else the whole code would not work. And obviously I'm not sure why would you even use like this CSS class if you're not going to use this two ever. So pretty easy to do. We can simply just duplicate this one, and as soon as we duplicate, we have like equal amounts of all three CSS classes. So let's just try it, and you could see now it works to our DMmotionarts.com like this and this. And you could see that the first container would be for our first link, and the second container would be for our second link. So if there was a link around here, WordPress, let's say WordPress website creator had a link, then it would have used the second container. So let's say if we simply just went in here like this ahref, I'm just going to copy this one again, and I'm just going to change the class to something like, or name to like Mayuresh Kohli, which is like my name, and I'm just going to replace it around here like this. Now obviously the code would not work, okay? Just know, because right now we have 3 DM preview links. So DM preview link, there are 3 of them. One around here like this, and two around here, which is like a href class DM preview link and DM preview link. So now what I simply need to do is, I know that this one is the second one in the flow, right? Because this is first one, then this is second one, and this is third one, which means that my preview container 2, we can just do like 2 stuff like this if you want. So my preview container 2 would be showing around here, and if I do this one again, the 3 would be around here. So obviously we can just remove this and then style everything. So let's try doing something like, I don't know, just random stuff that I'm adding. I'll also make this one like second and then this one like third, so we can see which one is which. And let's add this code. Let's do preview changes. As soon as I hover, it works. And then as soon as I hover around here, it works with second one. And as soon as I do stuff here, it works with the third one. And it's pretty easy to do, you could see. So make sure that the amount of these 3 classes are equal. You cannot have like one extra or one less, okay? And the order matters. So first one would always be for the first link, second container would be for second link, third container would be for third link. And obviously if you want to add, let's say element around here, which is like a preview container, then you could just basically duplicate here, and then this one would use for the second one. Also make sure the HTML is at the bottom. Now some extra stuff on how we can do some like gradient one stuff like this. And I actually have, if you go to my blog, you could see I have something called create animated gradients with Elementor and CSS. So let's just go in that one. I also have a video, so you could see there's going to be the video. And this is what I have used. I don't think I have used like animating one. Okay, so let's just not do the animation. And the way we are going to do is, if you guys don't know, we can actually add multiple CSS classes to stuff. So DM preview link already is given, and then the second one I can just call it like DM gradient or something, whatever we want. So just do space and then the second gradient. And by using the second CSS class, you can just add our styling. So I'm just going to duplicate my HTML. Then let's just delete everything. Type style. This is just custom CSS. If you want to do, if you have Elementor Pro, you could add it in custom CSS, but we are going to use this one. So if you actually check, I've already given like this code inside of this. So I'll just copy it here. But again, you don't need to do two of this HTML widget. You could just keep it around here. I'm just keeping it to be organized. So that for this video, I've given it DM grad text. So let's just copy this and then do this one. And you can see as soon as I added this DM grad text, it added the styling because I've already done all this stuff. So here you could see I've added the background linear gradient, and you could obviously go to like CSS gradient. Like on this site, copy this background linear gradient stuff like this, do all the settings, and then just replace the linear gradient like this. And you could see we got a different linear gradient, and then obviously do around here like this. So if you don't want the line, you could simply just delete this one like this. And yeah, pretty easy to do. Obviously if you want to do same stuff around here, so like DM gradient text, all we simply need to do is go into our class. Inside this one, I'll just paste like this, and inside this class we will just paste, and then let's copy this. We got the stuff. Let's do preview, and you can see it worked perfectly. And if you want it to be on the left align, I will provide this code, so this preview left code. So I'll just copy this one. So you could see this one is my center code. What I can simply do is duplicate this one and then paste my code and call this like left code or something, so that I can switch between back and forth. You don't need to like duplicate both, you just have to use one, whichever you prefer. But I can simply go into my center code. I can do Ctrl// to hide everything, and do once more so that everything is purple like this. So make sure nothing is showing okay, in color. If I do /, again the code gets activated. So do double / and then everything gets purple. And I'll enable this by doing control /. Let's do preview. And you could see right now it is in left aligned like this. Looks nicer, right? And you could add any amount of stuff. Just make sure the HTML which you are using is at the bottom. So yeah, that's all. You could buy this template from my shop or this template shop. There are free versions too, with this blog section too, and then group. So yeah, that's all.